All right, Shalom. I'm the brother from Yakana from GMS New Orleans. I got the brother here, Waya from GMS Lafayette. All right, we're going to first and foremost give all praises, glory, infinite honor to Yahweh,
Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Harachakwadash.
double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations again to the whole select out there. All right, this lesson, this little quick video is going to be done on all right, the power elites of the society and how they get down. All right. Now I'm spinning this off from camp, this past camp, and also, some other stuff I done ran into. Just, in a way, going about my day, kind of looking into stuff with the Jeffrey files. All right. And with the Jeffrey files, people are losing their wigs on social media because of some of the information that come out on basically how these elites get down. All right. Just the super aristocratic elites of this society, all right? The A, B, C listers, all right? And it's nothing new, all right? What the scriptures always says, I'm gonna get it real fast, which I entitled the video this, all right? Slocky.
Let me get it for you,
Ecclesiastes 1 and 9.
Right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
And there's no new thing under the sun. So the same things that are happening today that you might think is new, or some newfound thing already, they've been doing this, man. Now, when I say they, I'm speaking of these elites, these Edomites, all right? Those who are in power, all right? The wicked, all right? Because the Bible speaks of the wicked being in power. The Bible speaks of, all right, the times that we're living in it being the very utmost corrupt times, all right? So we're in those times to where now the prophets on the scene exposing these things, bringing these things really to the elect's attention, all right? Because 2/3 out there are not gonna take heed to the warning. All right. They're not going to take heed to the information that's being brought out. All right. And this is like I said, this is really nothing. This is, like I said, this is just a spinoff from camp, but also, just getting some information, looking up certain things, just passing through the Jeffrey files. You be like, damn, man, that bring me to this scripture, this book. All right. But these devils get down, man, in a way, all right, in the shadows, to where it'll make your head fall off, man. To where your favorite politician, your favorite athlete, your favorite movie star, singer is getting down this way. But hey, I must say that our apostles been told us this, man. We took heed back then, all right, when we first came in, all right. Now at a time to where you brothers and you sisters, you should take a heed to these things, all right. There's nothing to be afraid of, all right. It just being in the know, all right, being warned, all right, and able to identify, all right, what we're dealing with, all right. We'll bring that scripture out. We had talked about and then we're gonna go into this. The main thing is this book, and everything else is gonna fall in line. I done brought this particular book out on the block before, countless number of times. But go ahead.
Khan, this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
And the way how the things of Esau sought out is first and foremost through Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, on down to via the prophets. The Lord uses the prophets as a mouthpiece. All right. The Lord uses the prophets as a mouthpiece to expose the wicked, all right, to bring these accounts out, to bring this information out, all right, through the scriptures, because the Bible is the main filter of all things, all right. The same thing they was doing back then could be filtered and talked about through the scriptures, all right. Go ahead, Doc.
That's right. I'll read it in the NLT. It says, Obadiah 1:6, every nook and cranny of Edom will be searched out and looted. Every treasure will be found and taken.
Yeah. So everything gonna be sought out on top of his own men, his own particular men of his nation, or his the people that's in his circles are coming out as whistleblowers, man. All right, their tongues falling up on themselves, as the scripture says, man. All right, all this information coming out. How do you think that the Lord allowed those even the little bit they are bringing out? The Lord allowed those files to come out, man. All right, and we're gonna go, hey man, some of the, like I say, some of the stuff, we're gonna go into. I ain't gonna go deep on it, but some of the stuff we're gonna go into, it have you scratching your head, man.
Yeah. If I could say just to back you up, Zaquan, like it says in Isaiah, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. It's talking about America. So the Lord is putting it out there by the spirit of the mouth of the prophets, what these devils even set up in the first place to keep this country going and keep it running. It was all rooted in wizardry and sorcery and witchcraft. But I got that book out.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the book on the screen. For those who want to get it, you get it. It is what it is. All right, but this is a book I done brought out countless number of times. All right, and I think the particular author. All right, I think if I remember, he was a child of one of his parents was into this, or he was adopted, and whoever his adopted foster family was into this. I can't remember. It's been a long time that I read it. All right, this is the book right here. All right, this is the book, and I'm gonna jump to the part for the brother. We jump into page 117 and 118. All right, which is you can read the title at the top too. Right here. I'm gonna zoom in.
The water. All right. It says, my vegetarian dinner with an aristocratic cannibal. And it says, back when I was young, in my 20s, some Luciferians who I knew invited me to meet an aristocratic man who was a member of a Luciferian secret society. In those days, I was not a Christian, although I did sometimes attend Christian churches, but that was mostly for social reasons. When it came to Satanism, what I objected to was the pedophile sex rings, the violence, and the cannibalism. But such practices are not found in all forms of Luciferianism. In some ways, it was tempted to believe in it. So, like, in some ways, I was tempted to believe in it. Some Luciferians talk of creating a utopian society. Some of the Satanists I knew were interesting people. So at that time in my life, I wasn't committed to Christianity, nor was I completely repelled by Satanism. So I didn't object to having this meeting with this aristocratic Satanist. In the course of our conversation over dinner, I would learn that this man was a high adept Satanist.
God. Okay, it's gonna go on. It's gonna get deeper, And like I said, this is the show how they get down. All right, go ahead.
Right, which these elites are high adept Satanists on the left hand side. So it says he took me to an expensive club where we had dinner together, Salakia. It was a pleasant experience, and we had an interesting conversation. He ordered a vegetarian meal, and I had the same. I remember that we had fried okra with the spicy breading. We also had a delicious salad made up of avocados, greens, baby tomatoes, and olives. The dessert was a chocolate mousse, and each bite melted in my mouth. We drank massive quantities of gourmet coffee. It was a memorable feast. Over dinner, he explained to me that except for his occasional indulgence in cannibalism, he never ate meat. It was interesting that he talked about this so openly in the dining room with other people at tables nearby, but they were busy with their own conversations and not interested in ours, and he seemed unashamed of the fact that he was a cannibal. He explained.
Go ahead, you got it.
All right. It says he explained that cannibalism among the aristocracy was quite different than the cannibalism practiced by savages off in a jungle somewhere. He said that it was practiced for some reasons of psychology and social positioning.
Which that's what a lot of people do it for, all right? Or get in that world or that Hollywood weird world for social positioning, man. All right. That's why you hear about all these stories coming out about the P. Diddy's and have you, all right? To get in that world for social positioning, all right, to get high up in the society, man. All right. And these are some of the things they get down with, all right, which goes all into Satanism, all right, the worship of different idols and deities too. All right. Blood oaths and sacrifices, man. Go ahead, Doc.
That's right. It says, oh, like the scriptures say, what shall profit a man if he gain the world and lose his own soul? So the Lord has it out there by the prophets what Esau is doing, but Esau has Jake doing his biddings in these different industries and left-handed and being lower level witches. But it says, this aristocratic cannibal was quite learned and he spoke well. But I had seen movies of aristocrats cooking and eating babies, and these movies had me feel ill.
And like I said, one of the things I was looking into, all right, in the Jeffrey files, all right, they had brought out that they was eating babies, man. All right, I even had it right here. Even in one of the files, they referred to the babies as tasting like cheese. What it was? Cream cheese, man.
Cream cheese.
Their intestines, man. All right, and they also had other key words out there for the little kids and shit. You know, how sick is that?
Yeah.
They named for a pizza, the code was girl, cheese, a little girl, a hot dog was a boy. All right, a pasta was a little boy. No, hot dog was like a boy. Pasta was a little boy. All right, they would say that ice cream is a a male toot, man, a male prostitute, man. And they will refer to people's color as a walnut. All right, and map. Anytime they said map in there, it had to do with the bodily fluids of a man. All right, and I think sauce went into orgy, man. All right, but let me get this scripture real fast.
God.
You know, which we bring out. This ain't nothing new, man. All right, everybody bugging out over the cream cheese situation with them explaining how they was eating babies' intestines and shit. All right, but hey, it's nothing new. They've been doing this from the time they came into power. And I'm gonna get it. This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 7. It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years. All right, and then died, and his servants bear rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did the sons after them many years. And evils, you see this? And evils were multiplied in the earth. Because if you know, and if you have done any research on the Romans used to walk, the men, in most cases, the Edomite men used to walk around with little boys, man. All right. Yeah. All right, this is nothing new. I'm gonna go.
Yep, and they groom them.
Yep, from a child up, because in that world, they say that the purest thing, the closest to purity is the anus of a little boy, man. All right, that's why, you know, they got all this shit going on with ICE raiding all these people's spots, but nobody never raided the offices or the headquarters of NAMLA, man.
Right.
Right. Nobody never went into these different, and they've been knowing about these rings, man. Because these particular rings, and what it is, Sound of Freedom, like that movie Sound of Freedom, brought out. They've been knowing about this. That particular industry or traffic. I'm speaking in code. That industry of trafficking, or traffic, has basically surpassed the war on drugs, man. Which was never a war on drugs. All right, they allow anything that goes on. They allow it to happen, man. They turn a blind eye to it. You know, only now these things are coming out through your Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, exposing these devils. All right,
got something for you too, Zaquan.
Con.
Just backing you up on the first Maccabees, and this is a post from Pam Bondi. She's a U.S. politician. She says that if we prosecute everyone in the Jeffrey files, the whole system will collapse.
You see, the whole goddamn system will collapse. Because why? Your favorite person that you like and love, politician, you voted for the guy, you know of the guy. Hey, you better bet your bottom dollar he was there. All right, he was off in the freakism, man. All right, and like I said, right now, as we speak, we're in a time down here of a wicked demonic time called Mardi Gras. And what they do, these devils dress up. They dress up in all these sorts of weird costumes. You know, I even remember from 12 Years a Slave, they had a party on there, and you know, you could tell they was wearing all those weird masks and shit. But you can only imagine what was going on. But it also showed it was going on in the 1800s. All right, and like I said, I'm gonna put it up there. I'm gonna put it on the screen real fast.
Precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 29:16, backing up the first Maccabees. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall.
And when the wicked are multiplied, transgressions do what?
It says, Proverbs 29:16, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall.
Yeah. And it's like I said, this is all you, and like I said, they got parties down here right now as we speak, getting ready for carnival season. And they wear all these weird ass masks and suits and tuxedos, and this how they getting down, man. They got masks on like this, up in them same these damn they call them crews, they call them social clubs, and that's how they getting down, man. And Jake is in the midst of this too. Jake getting down too, man. You know, and we bring this out. This ain't nothing new. All right, this is how they balls and shit get down, man. You know, that's how they getting down out here, man. They wear all these weird ass masks, which mask goes into witchcraft, man. You know, and like I say, one thing it brings me back to. Because like I said, most times we always making reference to particular movies or whatnot. And the one particular movie where they show you, because this devil is putting it out there in your face. One of the movies in particular that they show you, they were sacrificing babies and doing the stuff that was in the files of Jeffrey. Is it a movie called Mother? All right. There's a movie out there called Mother. I believe it was made in 2017.
And
they showed you what they done to her baby on there, man. Or doing to multiple babies. Cause they had that whole ring going on back then when it was you a woman, you have a child, and you'll think your baby is in the NICU and it just come up missing. All right, and they was putting them in these different. You was putting them amongst these different folks like this, man. But I moved down too, so we can, you know, make some time.
All right, Khan. Go back to it real quick. All right. It says, okay, I'll start from there. It says, this aristocratic cannibal was quite learned. Let me see. Yeah, that's the one above you. Okay, it says, this aristocratic cannibal was quite learned and he spoke well, but I had seen movies of aristocrats cooking and eating babies, and these movies had me feel ill. I explained this to him, but he was not offended. He admitted that many of the aristocrats in Europe did have the disturbing habit of eating babies. Whew. But he carefully explained that he and his cannibal friends in New York never did that sort of thing. They only ate adults. And these adults,
like it was any better, you know? Like it was any better. But go ahead, Doc.
yep, it says, and these adults were treated well. They were not tortured and were killed in a humane way before they were killed, and their flesh was prepared for consumption. Damn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. It says he went on to explain that after the Civil War, Luciferian aristocrats in New York had begun the practice of privately having meals in which human flesh was served. Eventually, there evolved a number of secret businesses to provide this service.
Yeah, and show you that Esau has these underground businesses that, you know, have the business of serving them, you know, these type of things, man. Even the adrenochrome, body parts, you name it, man.
Yep.
Well, go ahead.
Yep. It says the particular business that was described to me that night over dinner works like this. Persons from around the world are lured to New York with the promise of work. These are poor persons, but in good health. Once they arrive in New York, they are taken to a remote warehouse where they are fattened up and periodically checked by medical doctors. The victims are told by the doctors that they have some type of rare communicable disease. Therefore, they have to be kept isolated with others until they get better. Because they are given lots of good food, the victims tend to remain calm, believing that they are being well cared for. Furthermore, promises of welfare money are made. The victims are allowed simple amusements such as TV, books, and board games. Once a victim is chosen to be slaughtered, he or she is terminated by a doctor. This is done by slitting the victim's throat during a medical exam.
And you know, it reminds me of all these Israelites, all these other nations around the world coming over here under Sleepy Joe. You know how many of them, you know how many of those women and children might have came up missing? Men came up missing, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They bring kids, children, women in these containers on these boats, through trains, through tunnels, through planes, man. It's never ending. This is a business. All right. This is the business, man. And only here on this side of the world, you got people that's minds are so warped that they don't think these type of things is going on. But they are, man. The scriptures tell you this is how this devil gonna get down. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, but like you said, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel. They're literally using code names for wickedness, man. Using cheesecake, pizza, different names just to cover their wickedness, man. But the Lord, you got it. I'll like you.
They're using symbols and codes and shit too, man.
Oh, matter of fact, what's that one? He winked with his fingers.
I think that's
Is it Psalms or Proverbs?
No, it's actually I think it's Psalm. Is it Psalm 6?
No. I got it out.
What is it?
Proverbs 6 and 12.
6. Yeah.
I'll bring it out for you. It says Proverbs 6 and 12. It says, a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet.
Mm-hmm.
He teacheth with his fingers.
Yeah, so they do everything in code, everything in secrecy, man. All right. And even when you can go look at the pizza, the pizza saga centered around the gate, all right, Pizza Gate. You look into that whole thing, man. They had symbols and things that even some of the symbols were even found on the diapers of children's diapers, man, like pull-ups and huggies, pull-ups and huggies, and whatever they call them, damn Pampers, man. They even had the symbols on there, you know. So this devil, you know, the gig is up. Everything is coming out. I'm gonna try to find it.
You got one more verse out.
Go ahead.
It says Proverbs 6:14. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord.
Yeah, you look up Pizzagate. Nothing even come up. You know. Or somebody got a diagram. I'm gonna hold up. Let me see if I can clean this down. Okay, there you go. It's a little better. Yeah, but that little blue diagram right there. That's that's on that symbol there, the blue spiral shape. All right, that was seen on a lot of babies' Pampers, man. You know, and this is how they get down, and what it means. I just said it earlier, you know. It's a whole nother world of things going on, man. But go ahead.
I got one on. Well, I continue reading. I got a precept for you too. It was on the list. But it says persons. Oh, Salaki, where we? Okay.
Right,
okay. Once a victim is chosen to be slaughtered, he or she is terminated by a doctor. This is done by slitting the victim's throat during a medical exam. Then the victim is taken to a kitchen where his or her corpse is appropriately butchered. A letter is sent to his or her family overseas. It claims that the victim has been killed in an accident of some kind. The letter informs the family that the victim's body has been disposed of according to his or her religious beliefs. Money is sent as generous compensation to the families who, being poor, tend to accept this explanation without question. This aristocratic cannibal went on during our vegetarian meal to explain some other things about all this. He said that the business of providing human flesh for aristocratic cannibals had modernized over the years, but that it had maintained its basic business model. Only aristocratic and initiated Luciferians were offered this service. Ooh, man.
I'm gonna get the other one for you too. You can go into it on this real fast. That's the scripture that we had, Isaiah chapter 29 and 15 says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?" All right. Surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. All right. For it says, "For shall the worker say to him that made it, he made me not, or the thing that formed of him that framed it, he had no understanding."
That's right. And it started off by saying, "Whoa, destruction, man." And the Lord is doing that by the mouth of the prophets, destroying Esau's strongholds, his lies, his pseudoscience, his left-handed practices. This is the power that he's been given on the earth. The earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. Yep. So now the Lord is revealing through his men how Esau actually set up America, what this system practices is, how it gets his power in the earth. And it's all through left-hand sorcery. You got it, huh?
Yeah, because his pseudoscience is strong, man. All right. His left-hand magic is strong on this side. All right. To those who are in darkness, all right. But to us, when I say us, Lord will, we are the elect. The Lord has woken us up to his to that left-handed power. All right. We're not affected with it as others are, man. All right. We actually the ones that are shining the light on it. All right, revealing who this devil is, man. And calling them by name. All right. That's why they hate that name, Esau, Edom. Okay, you got more. You didn't even get to the meat yet.
All right, it says potential customers would be shown a book of photographs of different victims who were available for consumption.
And it show you these devils. This is how they get down. They got a whole book, a book this big, man. All right, of potential victims that they want. I want this guy right here, and I want him. When you bring him to me, or you bring me his parts, the different parts that I want. I want him to be under. I wanted him to be tortured. All right, so he can have adrenaline in his blood when I get it. This how these devils get down on the left hand. All right, in the dark, man. And they have companies. They have particular companies that deliver it to the house, just like Amazon, man. And you'll never know. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, and then also too, like that movie that reminded me what you said, that movie Jeepers Creepers. I think when you go into like the background of it, I think the dude was a pedophile, man. But in the movie, what was he out to obtain? What was Jeepers Creepers out to obtain? Different body parts of the victims, man. Whether they had a strong heart, whether it be their eyes, their legs. But that's Esau Edom, man.
It's just like you, Jakes, man. You know, on the black market, because you this interface of the internet that you see, you think it's just logging on to Safari, YouTube, all right, doing your daily business on the internet world. Well, there's a dark web too, and on the dark web, there's anything goes, man. All right, anything gets sold, and one of the main things is what the organs of you Jakes out there, man. You so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans, because you have the biggest, strongest organs out of all the nations of the planet Earth. All right, eyeballs, kidneys, spleen. All right, hearts go for hundreds, thousands, or close to millions of dollars, man. All right, but on the other case, you know, and that's why I just said it before. You know, a lot of you Jakes out there in the world, I got so-called friends out there. They got on their ID. They got a donor. That's the worst damn thing you can do, man. They have a donor on your ID. Enough for them to bring, just like the movie. They show you with the movie Repo Man, how they'll send the whackers to come get you, man, or get them organs out you, man. Because once you go in the hospital, the doctors are not trying to save you. They're trying to kill you to get that, man. To get those organs out you, man. But go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, but I had just to back you up, high school friend of mine, he passed out just on a hot day working the turnaround jobs. He had the heart symbol on his license, the donor, and the ambulance people came and they was taking his heart out before his family could make it to view him. They was already taking his organs out, man.
Wow.
So back on this book, it says the people in the photos will be nude and the photos would have been taken during medical exams. There would be a description of the person along with his or her name. The victim's weight and size, as well as other physical characteristics, will be described. But also the victim's religion, nationality, cultural background, hobbies, and abilities will be described. There will be a description of the individual's personality. The idea was that you were supposed to pick somebody you liked. Your future food should be someone whom you found admirable. It's a devil,
sick,
man.
Sick, man. It's straight up sick. All right, and this is the guy that's over us, man. This is the devil that's ruling over us, man. A sick, twisted, demonic demon, man. All right. A nation of demons, man. All right, and like I said, the other book, they had a book out there called the Delectable Negro. If I'm saying it right, where they tell you, they show you pictures of how they was eating so-called Negroes, man. They were eating Native Americans out here, all right, butchering us, man, for sport. I brought out time and time again of that one woman down there in the French Quarter in the 1800s. All right, how she would all that shit you see on the movie like Hostel or Jigsaw. She was doing that to so-called Negro women and Negro men and babies, man. Sewing your mouth shut, your eyes getting sewn shut. She'll take your arms off, both your arms off. She'll take your arms. Yeah, put your legs where your arms supposed to be at, your arms where your legs supposed to be at. These are the accounts of Esau, all right? That's why we call him the devil. All right? This ain't nothing new, man.
Yep.
All right. And now today, you fast forward to today, everybody's minds blown by these files. But man, these devils have been getting down like this, man. They've been going to Bohemian Grove, getting down. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
Right. The scriptures say they were viler than the earth.
Yep.
When you go into it, it says they were outcast from society. This is the type of behavior that's going to be exterminated out of the earth. Yeah. That's why the Lord, you got it, Doc.
No, go ahead. My bad.
I was just gonna say this is why the Lord said after 1,000 years they gotta be exterminated, man. You got it, Doc.
That's why Job even said, man, I wouldn't even have them to sit with the flocks of my dogs, man.
God.
All right. this devil he's defiled. But go ahead, Doc.
Yep, it says this business had various ways that the victim's flesh could be prepared for eating. These would be stews, sausages, and so forth. And this all sold for large amounts of money, but the customer was expected to buy a whole person. Damn. One couldn't just buy a few sausages. One had to buy all the meat that had been harvested and prepared from the victim of one's choice. It says wealthy Luciferian aristocrats would throw exclusive parties, and the guests at these parties would feast on the flesh of the chosen victim.
And I showed you, I showed other pictures out there, of those different parties, man. Like I said, right now in our city, right now they having those type of parties go on. All right, I got to get this one, but you can read it out. I'm about to get this other picture.
All right, it says. Wealthy Luciferian aristocrats would throw exclusive parties, and the guests at these parties would feast on the flesh of the chosen victims. The cannibals called themselves the eaters, and they referred to their victims as the eaten. It says a photo of the victim will be placed on a dining room table. Photos of the victim will be passed out among the guests as souvenirs.
Yeah, this is how they get down. And this is your girl, man. All right. Lady Gaga. This her. This Lady Gaga. And then look at it. Look at this.
Ooh.
Why even play like that, man? But that's how they get down.
Yeah. And these Jakes, you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, you blindly worship these false idols, all right? Not knowing that they're behind the scenes doing these left-handed practices to get their power, man. That's how Esau Edom gets his power, from the left-hand son of God, Satan, man.
And look at this motherfucker. He's smiling about it. He's smiling at this down here, man. He's smiling. Sick, man. But go ahead.
Yep. It says the cannibals call themselves the eaters, and they refer to the victims as the eaten. A photo of the victim will be placed on a dining room table. Photos of the victim will be passed out amongst the guests as souvenirs. And when eaters ate him or her, they will refer to the eaten by name. For example, they might say, Jose is quite delicious. These Jose sausages are especially good. Devils, bro.
Devils, man. Devils, man.
What's that one? Let's see. Forward mode. Yep. And if I can back you up, like we had read earlier, this was the Proverbs 6. It says, a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. So these devils, they work in, like the elder said, they work in hand symbolism, left-handed meetings. Like the scriptures say, they grope in the noonday, they meet in darkness, and they practice these different things. But through the spirit of the mouth of the prophets, the Lord is exposing Esau Edom on a major global level for who he is, man. The E-Files.
Yeah. You weren't about the Jeffrey files, the whole E files. All right, the USB, the damn hard drives, all that shit, man. It's coming out, man. Pictures and all, audio and all, man. These some sick people. You know?
Yeah, man. And then you also too, like you were saying earlier, they said they came to the conclusion that there's no investigation on the e-files or something like that. They were saying pretty much what the brother was saying earlier. Let me get it real quick.
16.
With me. The FBI concluded the investigation and said there was no S trafficking as far as the e-files go. All right. They concluded that it was no S trafficking ring found. But the Lord said he's not going to quit the wicked. So even though Esau Edom is trying to sweep all of his wickedness under the rug, all right, prophecy is going to be fulfilled.
Yeah, only until we be raised up, and the Lord puts us in power, then will we find out everything that's going on, man. Everything that happened in the past. All right. This devil has distorted history, man. He has turned the world upside down. All right. He's hidden things and continue to hide things, man, as we speak. I got well. You got that? Did you ever get that hit Habakkuk? What it was, Habakkuk?
Yeah, I got it. Habakkuk 2:16. I'll bring it out.
Yeah.
This is Habakkuk 2:16. It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory." I'll start at 15. It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth that bottle to him, and maketh him drunk also, that thou may look on their nakedness." It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory."
Yeah, man. So the Lord is revealing everything. Everything is being brought to the forefront. All right, when it comes to Esau Edom.
Yes.
All right. The world as we know it is being revealed that this guy, he's a devil, he's a freak. All right. He's a PDF file. All right. And everybody's like I said, most people are awoken to this, man. All right. Even like what we're reading in this particular book is all coming out.
Yep. I got a quick one out.
Yeah, go ahead.
2 Thessalonians 2:4-6, because you said revealed. It's the word that stuck with me. It says, "Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he," speaking to Esau Edom, "as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." And it says in Ezekiel the 28th chapter that thou art a man and not God. So you've only just been given this left-handed power for a period of time. And look what you've done with it. You fell deep into these wizardry, sorcery practices. And this is what you're all about. You're the pretty much personify wickedness, man. You personify wickedness. So it says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things," and it's the point. "And now he know what withholded, that he might be revealed in his time." Just backing it up. Backing you up, Art. And that's now, man. Esau Edom is being revealed for the things that he's been practicing, the things that these wicked left-handed elites, their agents, these different wicked politicians, what they've done to get in power, because it's no different with them, right? These wicked elites are doing it. So you got these left-handed politicians, governors, spokespeople of this country. They're all rooted in the left-hand side as well, man. They're practicing this as well on some type of level, just like you got Jake doing it, the hip-hop industry, lower level witches like the elders going into the ASAP Rockies, all right, and things like that, man. Jake doing it on a low level too.
Yeah. Only now that it's all coming out, it's all one big. Y'all been in one big cocoon together, man. All right, one big bumblebee, one big cocoon of devils together, man. All right. Hey man, that's why you gotta praise and thank the Lord that the Lord ain't, because you have brothers that were filled all sorts of talents of music, football, you name it. I'm just glad the Lord ain't they ain't let us get in that world, man, and be destroyed. All right, because a lot of those Jakes, and I'm gonna just speak on Jake on that. That's why a lot of you have received a consolation on this side when it comes to that, man. You're through. All right, it's nothing you have left. There's nothing to be salvaged of you, man. All right. What you brought out earlier, the lady said basically, if they was to go and get everybody on them files, everything here would be shut down, man.
Yep, I'll bring it out for you. This is Pam Bondi, which is a U.S. politician, Republican. She says, if we prosecute everyone in the E-files, in the Jeffrey files, the whole system will collapse.
And I believe that, man.
Yep.
I believe that. We got about what? 2 more. I got that. I get that other one too. Now that I'm thinking about it. I think you had something in Psalms, right? And I got
Yep,
that.
I got some in Psalms.
I get this other one too. I'm looking for it.
You want me to go first? I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
It says Psalms 96.
Hold on, deck the other one. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 3 and 4.
I get that one too, but this is Psalms. Let's see where I'm gonna start at. This is Psalm 64, and I'll start at one that says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, Dawadah, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. And our main enemy on this side is who? Esau, Edom, man. Lord said he would make a war with Amalek from generation to generation until they be put out of the earth. The Lord is making a war on them by exposing them, man. All right. And ultimately, the Lord's going to blot them out. All right. Make a speedy riddance of the earth's militaries. But it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, which is Esau, Edom, man, the secret council, Bohemian Grove, Skull and Bones, these different wicked practices.
Yeah, trilateral commissions.
Trilateral commissions, yep.
All those different secret meetings that they have solely. They have those meetings solely on the aim of destroying Jake, man. Let's just get it out there. They solely are in meetings to destroy Jake. All right. And ultimately they want to get rid of us, but they can't, man. All right. The Lord says we are at the sand of the sea. There's nothing he can do. All right. And to also, they want to fulfill their new world. And they've been saying that too a lot, in their openly on the news, man. They've been saying the NWO. All right. But all we know, according to the Bible, all those things are going to be upsetted. All right. It's going to be upset. All right, in their attempts of establishing it, man, preferably and especially when they try to implement the RFID chip. All right, the mark of the beast, according to the Book of Revelations, man. All right, the Lord's going to upset their party.
That's right. It says Psalm 64 and 3. It says, "Who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words."
Yep. Even bitter words, man.
It says that they may shoot Salaki, that they may shoot secret at the perfect.
Who's the perfect? Who's the perfect? Salaki, who's the perfect? You Israelites out there, all right? Starting with the elect, all right? Because even all this, and all this time that the Lord has used us to expose this devil, he's going to come at us at some point too. The persecution is here, man. All right. This devil can use AI to mimic your voice and put you in places you wasn't and what may look like a compromising position. All right. He's a devil, man. So we're in those times. but the Lord's going to upset him. The Lord's going to lift up a standard for the elect's sake, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, verse 4 again, that they may shoot him suddenly at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
God.
It says they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
See, they all about laying snares and traps, all right, so that people fall, man. All right, they all about coming in as if they're trying to help you, but then they want to get you in a compromising position. They want to get you in a way to where they can have what they say, dirt on you, man. All right, accepting money. That's why they get these politicians. They all get bought off. They all sell out, man. Or some of them have different vices, whether it be gambling, whether it be they have the vice of, you know, not controlling themselves with women, and they get a woman to come at them, and then what? Snap, they get pictures.
Yep.
All right.
Honeypot.
Yeah, it's in a honeypot. That's why you gotta be wise in these women, man. These devil got all sorts of ways he can come at you, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Yep. It says, verse 6. It says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search.
Read that again, Doc.
This is Psalm 64:6. It says, they search out iniquities.
They say he searches out iniquity. He's solely about searching out iniquity on you, man. That's what the scripture said. He's wiser than Daniel. All right, this devil is all about gathering. That's why he has alphabet boys, man. The departments of intelligence. All right. Go ahead.
Yep, it says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yeah, they got a deep, wicked heart, man. All right, to trap you up, to trip you up, to get you to go off, or to unalive you, man. You know.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's been doing too. You know, these different whistleblowers, they call them quacks. When they come out with various proven information, all of a sudden they so-called die of a overdose, a plane crash, a car crash, or they say they whacked themselves. You know, that's what he do, man. And even those who are in this, like we just read this book, those who are in this circle, if they ever wake up and come out of those, try to come out of those circles, what happens, man? They die in a mysterious way, or never to be seen or heard again, man. You know. But this, like I said, from the start of this place, this is how these presidents, these vice presidents, these lawyers, you name them, this is how they all got down, man. Going out there, I forgot what one of those presidents said. I think it wasn't Reagan. It was one of those presidents. He wouldn't dare go out there in the woods in Bohemian Grove. Say all they do is a bunch of grown men running around naked, man. And when you go look at that Bohemian Grove picture, all those dudes at the table was at that time was like the next 5 presidents back to back, man. So they even know who's gonna be the president years in advance, man. And they all sit down and commune with each other, man. Ultimately, they commune with Satan. Because like we go into Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, that's where they get their power from, man.
Right.
In the jail. You know, we go into that time and time again whenever that topic comes up. All right. And the Lord set them up. For those of you who just tuning in, and you know you all messed up, man. Well, how can the Lord allow this to happen? Well, hey, the Lord, you know, He's the author of them both. He letting them have that time until you take them out the way.
Yes.
Right. The scriptures right here too to back up what I'm saying. One of the scriptures that can back up what I'm saying. This is Isaiah 45:7 says, "I have formed the light. I create darkness. I create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." You see? So the Lord created the wicked for the day of doom, man. He allowed them to run rampant in the earth, to make to do his thing for a while, to what? To run up his tab of wickedness until the Lord takes him out the way, man. And that's what we're in the time of Yahweh Shai coming back to set order and righteousness back on the earth and to reset the earth back into its proper place, and these devils on the bottom.
That's right.
All right, and these devils on the bottom, man, and to ultimately, all right, pull the skirt up on this devil, which you're doing now through us. We are one of the most important pieces of this man's downfall, man. All right, go ahead.
That's right. I got that Wisdom of Solomon. I can me get it.
Yeah, we'll end it on this too, man.
All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12.
I'm gonna go to it. 12. Yeah, this is them. This is that whole thing in a nutshell right here, man. All right, this is how the scriptures back up everything that the book, the pictures. I would have done videos, but we know the YouTube would have took it down, man. Go ahead. Might take this. They might take this down for sure.
That troop coming out. You want me to start at 4?
Yeah, that's 3.
3. Fine, Salakia. Wisdom of Solomon 12:3. For it was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcrafts and wicked sacrifices.
And who's doing that? Who's doing the most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices right now? Esau, Edom. All right, Isaiah the 47th chapter tell you how America, basically this place was established on witchcraft and wickedness, man.
Yep.
Then this place and its leaders, everything around here is associated with witchcraft. Like we was going, me and you having a brief talk about the car emblems, the different symbols on the buildings. All right, this place is one big witch coven, man.
Yes.
All right, one big Ouija board. That's what America is, man. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
Yes, brother. It says, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices, and also those merciless murderers of children.
The Epstein, the Jeffrey files, all those participants of it, man. All right. Like I said, saying that the children taste like cream cheese, man. The intestines. It's sick.
Sick, man.
Go ahead.
Odious works, man. Scripture say that this place practice it's like whoredom in thy youth, man. This place is established on left-handed wizardry, sorcery, practices, man. All right, it's in the imagery, it's in the architecture of this place, man. It's all set up in a left-handed wizardry and sorcery. So it says,
man. Yeah, everything is basically goes back to some left-handed power and deity from the old worlds, man. All right, from the Babylon, Greeks, Romans on down. This place is a carbon copy of those, but actually more wickeder, man. All right, this is the most wicked kingdom that ever been. All right, and like I said, the same thing they was doing in them old worlds, they're doing today on a high level. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, but it says Wisdom of Solomon 12:5 again, and also those merciless murders of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood.
Ooh. Did we not just get this in this book? Let me put it back on the screen, man. Did we not just go into this book right here that went into that, man? Come on. Here we go. Did we not just go into this book right here that went into that, man? All right, read that part again, Doc.
It says Wisdom of Solomon 12:5, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood.
Yeah, and this book tell you how Esau, and it's more. It's more in here that'll make you trip out, man, as they say. But this is how Esau get down. He's a murderer of children, man, devourer of flesh. All right, feasting on blood, man. We say these things, but they are true. They are real. All right. And like I said, starting with our apostles and them been brought this out years ago. But everything's coming down the pipe now, man. All right. Photos, all this shit, man.
Yeah, files, like you said, the whole jump drive on E, man. All his works. But the Lord been put the spirit on the prophets, the apostles, on down to least of us to herald in all of this information, all of this history of Esau up until now, to where he's finna go with his move, like the elder said, with the NWO, man. This is all what it's rooted in. You got it out.
You can end it off at 6, and we get out
Verse
of here.
6 kind of says, verse 6, with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew, and the parents that kill with their own hands, souls destitute of help.
Yeah, man. So hey, man, we gotta continue to pray. All right, that the Lord speed this thing up to get us out of here, man. Amongst these people, man. All right.
Yes.
So with that, man, we hope this was edifying to the point. As always, we'll give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by
Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim HaRachakodash.
once again, double honors to the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations again. Shalom.
Shalom.